Hi, so I wanted to record this DIY. It's going to be a two-in-one DIY. The first DIY is sort of how to make your own foaming hand soaps. So I'd mentioned in empty videos that I'd finished up this bottle of Sicilian lemon foaming hand soap, and mostly I wanted it for the bottle so that I could continue to make my own foaming hand soaps instead of, so it's was mostly just a purchase for the bottle. So how do I do that? It's such a ridiculously easy thing, though, that I thought I'd combine it with another DIY that might be sort of interest to people. So what do I do with this? Basically, it's 1 part concentrated soap and 4 parts water, and I just sort of mix them up into the bottle. And every now and then I just sort of give it a swirl to mix the soap and the water up together. The soap that I like using Dr. Bronner's Magic Soaps. The one I am loving right now is the peppermint one for hand soap, because I like having that sort of little tingly feeling on my hands. So basically it's just soap with a little bit of peppermint oil in it, but you can buy the unscented sort of gentle version. It's marketed for babies, and that's what I use sort of for my kids, so my kids don't get the peppermint in case they sort of get the peppermint in their eyes. I don't want them to to have that irritation, but I'm really liking this. If you don't want to use a concentrated soap like Dr. Bronner's, you can use a regular shower gel, not a creamy kind usually, but if you use a shower gel, you could probably do 1 to 3. So 1/3 of it will be your shower gel, and the rest of it will be 2/3 of water. The trick to getting the foaming hand soap is to having it sort of diluted a little bit and the little aerator in there, and that's what makes it foamy. Finding out how to do this, it sort of made me realize that foaming hand soaps really are such a gimmick for the companies, because what they've done is they've diluted their soap down and just put an aerator in. So if you were to buy actual hand soap, that stuff is more concentrated, so you'll notice that you probably use a little bit less when you use non-foaming hand soaps. And with this, they can get away with giving you less soap, more water, and charging you the same amount. So this is my little stick it to ya kind of thing, little DIY. So basically all I do is I will take this and I'll look at how much will fit in there. So this is 259, so I'll round it down to a number that's divisible by 4. If you're doing it with the shower gel, you'll round it to a number that's divisible by 3, just to make your math easier. So I'm going to pick 240 milliliters because that's divisible by 4, and that means I'll use 60 mils of the soap and then 180 mils of water. So I've got my handy little measuring cup here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and mix this all up. So I'm just going to pour about 60 mils. You don't need to be too precious with this. This is just soap after all. So I've got a mark for 50 here, so I know a little bit more than the 50. Not a big deal. So I'm just going to eyeball it, and there's 50, and okay. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, since this holds 250 mils, and I want to get a total of 240, I'm actually just going to take my water and add it to this cup. So I'm just going to carefully pour it. You don't want to be too splashy with it, but you'll notice I'm not being terribly careful. But okay, there, I'm just under the 250 mark. Even if I hit 250, it's not a big deal. The 1 to 4 is just kind of an approximate. Okay, and then so now I've got it kind of mixed up in here. Just going to open up the top. I've actually rinsed out the bottle a little bit so I can get rid of the lemon scent in here and just sort of remove as much of the old product as possible. So I just rinse this bottle a little bit, and then I'm just going to take this and pour it in. The only thing you really sort of want to make sure of is that the aerator is not submerged in the water, so that's why I usually like to use a little less than what they mention on the bottle. But you'll see I got pretty much close right up to the top, and so I'm just going to give it a little bit of so screw this tightly, and then instead of shaking it, because if you shake it you're going to foam it, I'm just going to do a little bit of this, and we are ready to go. I mean, I'd show you, but it's okay. I'll show you guys a little bit. So, oh. All right. So you get pretty good foaming soap. Smells like peppermint. I really like it. It's super easy, and yeah. All right. So that's the first one. So my second DIY is inspired by a whole bunch of videos out there for how to make your own, scrubs with, tea bag, stuff from inside tea bags or from coffee grounds and stuff like that. So it's pretty much, it's not any different than that. So I'm not claiming this to be a very original idea at all, but what I have at home doesn't really allow me to take advantage of most of the tutorials because we have a Tassimo brewer. And for those of you who don't know, it's one of those disc brewers. So you have a little disc, you pop it in and it reads the barcode, and then it brews it according to, whether you've got coffee or tea or maybe a cappuccino, or sometimes you put latte discs in there or something. So I don't have coffee grounds or available to me like usually, but what I do have are these. I've got these discs. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a scrub using these discs, and it's really super easy. So I thought, these two very easy DIYs together would be nice. So you've got one of the discs that have been used. This is one that my husband used this morning for coffee. So it's basically coffee grounds inside that they've run water into to brew the coffee and then extracted the water out. So the coffee grounds themselves are actually quite moist inside already, so you're not going to need to add any water to the scrub. I just use it right out of here. So you take a sharp knife, be careful with this, and it's foil at the top, so you're just going to punch a little hole into it. So there you see I've got it, and then I'm just going to slice around. Oh, let me get that on camera. Slice around until I can peel back some of that foil. So now that I've done that, you can kind of see, I'm going to tilt the camera so I don't spill coffee all over my computer. So I'm going to open it up, and you can see there's all these coffee grounds inside. Can you see? Oh, I'm terrible at this. I'm sorry. There you go. Okay, so I've just peeled back the foil. Then I just take a spoon, kind of eyeball it. I just dig maybe half a spoon out. Maybe this is a little more than half a spoon. Yeah, it's kind of a rounded. Let me do this so you can see it. Like that. And I'll just dump it into a little bowl. Okay, this is just a tiny little bit there. Now what I'll do is I'll take some honey. I like it in a squeeze bottle form. It's easier to deal with, but any honey will do. And I'm just going to pour about a spoonful of honey in here, just a small amount. So I've got about a teaspoon of honey, and then I'm just going to let that drip in here into my coffee grounds, and then I'm just going to mix it up. And that's it. That's all you do. So the honey sort of dissolves into the liquid that's in there, so you get this kind of paste. My camera's not really picking it up very well, but you get a paste. Just kind of, right? And it is fairly runny, and so you can just use it, right away. So you can see it's pretty runny, but it does a really nice job of scrubbing because the honey is moisturizing, and the caffeine in the coffee is it's a diuretic, so it'll drain some of the water out of your face and stuff like that. And then the grains are just fine or coarse enough that it's pretty gentle scrub, so you just will put it on your hands, scrub it on your face, and just rinse it right off. And this is another one of the cases where you can use something that you've already got in the house and just make a second use for it. Right? So you're not wasting as much. So that's it. It was a pretty long video now that I put 2 DIYs together, but I hope you guys enjoyed these 2 very simple DIYs, one for soap, one for scrub. And let me know if you give it a try, and let me know if you guys have Tassimo's. Maybe you guys have a Keurig. Maybe it would probably work just the same with a Keurig. If you have a Keurig and you try it, let me know. If you have any other comments, questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment box below. And yeah, hope you guys are having a great day, and take care. Bye.